I'm a fan of FernGully, but I highly disagree with its politics. I consider myself an environmentalist, but of the spaceship Earth variety, not the humans are Cthulhu variety. We have to protect our home because it's our only home in a harsh universe. But humans aren't some evil force dominating an innocent animal anthropomorphic people. One of the biggest flaws in FernGully is this tree worship.
But how can you live without trees?
East?
But trees give life. They make the clouds, the rain, the air.
Trees are considered holy, like there's some grand divine force that imbues life. And no one can ever hurt a tree or else they're some evil demonic creature. Even though trees are from nature and are a symbol of nature, especially for environmentalists in these kind of films, trees are treated here as though they're apart from nature. Any creature that tries to hurt a tree is considered evil, including the leveler, which is this tree demolition machine that looks a lot like a creature with a big mouth, and it's pulling trees into its mouth.
Monster? What monster?
The one that ate the tree. It was terrible.
Wasn't a monster. That was a machine.
What's a machine?
It's a thing for cutting down trees.
That's terrible.
Only if you live in a tree.
I do live in a tree.
Oh.
Even though it looks like a creature, it can't be a natural animal. And so it seems like it's saying that animals would never hurt a tree, but that's clearly not true. I mean, there's woodpeckers, there's beavers. Because trees are in nature, they're a part of it. And part of being in nature is being eaten or just killed because other things in nature want to take that place. They have need of resources there. You know, FernGully was written by someone in Australia, and it takes place in Australia. And I guess beavers aren't native to Australia, so I can understand how the writer might have been ignorant of it. I mean, I can understand it, but it's sloppy. It's really sloppy. This universal statement that everything in nature worships trees is flawed. The humans in the movie, they devastate the forest. It's never made clear why they need to do that. Hexus, the evil entity, wants to demolish the forest to put up parking lots and shiny shopping malls.
I'm gonna crush and grind all creatures great and small and put up parking lots and shiny shopping malls.
The logging was going on before Hexus showed up. They must have had a reason, some motivation beyond Hexus. And the morality of the movie is pretty screwed up. There's this scene with the Gona lizard. Fairy Krista shrinks Zack, the human, down to the size of a fairy. And he, being an idiot, runs away from her. And then this Gona lizard shows up and starts stalking him. And sings a song about stalking him.
I just can't control this hunger. I just can't seem to cut it back. On my ravenous consumption, you're a welcome little snack. If I'm gonna eat somebody, it might as well be you.
And all these leeches show up to chant about how Zack's gonna be eaten and welcome to the food chain.
Welcome to the food chain.
But the lizard is shown to be a natural force of life. It's just in the the circle of life. It's in the food chain. It's natural. I mean, the lizard is being sadistic here. It's like, okay, circle of life's fine, just don't you dare hurt a tree. Even though the leveler looks like it's eating trees, as in it's part of the circle of life.
If I'm gonna eat somebody, it might as well be you.
Yeah, there's this weird religious element to the thing, where Maggie Loon, the fairy matriarch, talks about how basically God created the forest, created the animals, and created fairies to watch over the nature, and created humans to watch over nature with the fairies, but humans turn out to be sort of a neutral force, though. They can be good and help tend to nature, or they can be corrupted by demonic forces and kill trees and stuff. There's this scene where Zach, who somehow missed that Krista's an environmentalist, and he carves his name on a tree, and Krista freaks out, saying you mustn't do that because the tree is feeling pain.
C-C-R-Y-S?
No, you mustn't do that. Here. Can't you feel its pain?
It's pain?
Trees do not feel pain. They lack the sensory system that animals have. So it would hurt, as in it would damage the health of a tree to carve into it, because the bark protects it. But they wouldn't feel pain. It's not sadistic. And part of the weird, screwed up nature of the movie is that it portrays humans as fundamentally above animals, even though it gives animals human-level intelligence.
You can't eat him. He's a human.
It's weird. So why don't the fairies try communicating with the leveler? They think it's an animal. Shouldn't they ask it to not eat all the trees? Why not just eat some of the trees, as much as it takes for the leveler to survive? Why not explain to it the importance of keeping the trees in the ecosystem? They could still have a message about, humans disregard the ecosystem, they disregard the natural balance and such. They could still have that. They could have that without the leveler being this demonic creature that humans must be trying to fight against because no person would hurt a tree. There's also kind of a racist element to the show. I mean, the fairies are supposed to have been there since the dawn of creation. They look white. And it's having white people as like the standard of human, or fairy, standard of person. So they couldn't have any kind of racial diversity there, even when it would make sense to have it.
Bad idea, I said. But would you listen? No, don't listen to Batty.